Well, we are taking that story forward. You saw our reporter Ziniko Mhlaba in that package trying to get a hold of Howard Ndaba, the spokesperson for Free State Education. Well, we have him now on the show and he joins us now virtually. Mr. Ndaba, good morning to you. Thank you so much for giving us your time. I think let's start here. Have you reached out to Lam Primary School and are you aware of parents getting their furniture and belongings attached as a result of not paying school fees?
Okay, good morning and good morning to our viewers and many thanks for having us. First of all, I think it's important that we put this into context. As you know, basic education system in the country, especially public education system, is divided into, or is categorized into quintiles. You have quintile 1 to 3, which is non-fee paying schools. These are your schools in your township, in farm schools, schools which are regarded as historically disadvantaged. These are also schools which are regarded as poor. You also have quintile 1 to 5 school. These are your fee-paying schools. Mainly they are in town, they are former military schools. These are suburban schools, effectively. So as a parent, when you take a decision, and all those schools, quintile 1 obviously is 100% funded by government, and then quintile 2, 4, and 5 are partly funded by government. So as a department, as a parent, you take a decision that I'm opting to go to take my child, because you have a right to put your child in a school of a choice. So as a parent, if you say, I'm taking my child to a quintile 5 school, and then you sign a form that say I can afford, then you go there. But if there are any challenge that was in terms of the law, which is, if you look at South African School Act, Section 40, it states that the parents are liable, referring to those fee-paying schools. Right. Parents are liable to pay school fees if are in quintile 4 to 5. And if you look at Section 41, it says the SGP of the school may by process of law enforce the payment of fees by the parent who is liable to pay. Okay. But what is also missing, what is also important, which I suspect we might have, that's where the challenge might be. The school governing body have an obligation, especially at the beginning of the year when they admit a child, to indicate to the parents about the annual school fee, but also to inform the parent about the option available to request for exemption. All right,
we don't have a lot of time, Mr. Ndaba, and I'm trying to get as much done as possible. So you've talked about the quintiles and the liability on parents to pay school fees, depending on what school it is, what government school it is that they choose for their child, or they are allocated for their child. But this is also part of the law. A means test, which is, I suppose, where you were going with it, is meant to take place. So if a parent runs into challenges, if a parent's income is less than 10 months, the annual school fees per learner, that parent does qualify for a full exemption. Are SGBs aware of this? So in this case of Lam Primary School, do you know if these qualifications for exemptions have been processed? Because according to law, even if the school governing body cannot give a parent that full exemption, that parent can then come to your very own department and speak to an HOD to request a school fees exemption. So, and in this particular matter with the school, what do you understand about what happened there?
I indicated to say, in the beginning of the year, when the school admit a learner, they've got an obligation to inform the parents that, remember the parent, you have an option of applying for this exemption. And in this school, I can confirm that this year there are about 40 parents who have applied for this exemption. So So they are aware. There are about 40 parents who have applied, and some of them did not qualify because there is a criteria that is being used to determine whether you qualify for exemption or not. Because there are various categories of exemption. They include partial exemption, total exemption, and full exemption. So yes, in fact, in the province, we're having 147 quintile 4 to 5 schools. Out of those, 103 have applied for this exemption. So indeed, schools are aware. We can safely say generally schools are aware, but we'll have pockets where the schools are not applying.
Okay.
And we will want to encourage those parents at Lumir to go back to the schools instead of going to the media, to sit with the school management, to look at the possibility of making sure that these kind of things do not find expression.
And unfortunately, Mr. Ndaba, the media, this is an issue that is in the public interest, and so it is, almost disingenuous to say parents should not speak to the media because this is a public interest issue. 40 families at this primary school. Please let me finish my question, sir. 40 have applied for exemption. Of those that have applied, what has happened to their applications, and those that were not successful, were they then elevated to the Department of Education as they should have been according to procedure?
Some of them have been elevated, some have not. Because let's not assume that this exemption is just a blanket approach. There are people who will qualify. There are those who are not going to qualify in terms of the law. So that is the situation where we're in now. And we're saying those parents who think that because I spoke to the principal yesterday, we agreed that let us invite the parents to come to the school and present their case. Because you have a situation in the same school where a learner has been from grade 1 until grade 7. The parents did not pay his school fees since that time, but the learner was still at school. And you can imagine how will that impact on the quality of education in that school. Was that school, for example, it is a quintile 4 school, we are paying that school, we are subsidizing that school about 848 per learner. And if you multiply that by 12, it's only 500,000, and the school has to run other errands like your sporting or your recreational activities and so forth. So all those things, they are also telling us that they can't even pay some of the teachers that they've hired as SGP. So this thing is we need to work together as communities, as stakeholders, to make sure that the quality of education of our children is not compromised.
All right. What's the solution here, Mr. Ndaba? Because, and you talked about the South African Schools Act, and I want to, of course, remind you that no learner may be deprived of their right to participate in all aspects of a program of a public school, despite non-payment of school fees. So I suppose that's not the approach that you're taking, but you are rather attaching the assets of parents. What is the way forward? I don't have a lot of time, Mr. Ndaba. What's the way forward in your view?
No, but let's correct you. In these schools, for example, there's no learner who has been denied the right to education because the parents did not pay. I've even made you an example of a learner who have been from grade 1 until grade 7, who have not paid any school fees in the same school. So it's not true that we are saying we are denying learners. And I'm saying to you, the way forward is for the parents of that school to go to the school even today, to meet with the school management, to indicate how are they going to work together to make sure they find solution to this.
Okay. And the way forward, what's the plan? Particularly for those 40.
The plan is to look at them individually, to say, do you qualify for this exemption? What kind of exemption are you qualifying for? And if you have got any appeal that you have made, you can go to a circuit manager, you can go to the district to make sure that at the end of the day, it is a win-win situation to make sure that this does not affect the school as well, and the right of learners to receive quality education as we're indicating.
Yeah, of course, there's the matter of process, and we'll keep looking at this story, really. But we really do appreciate your time. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Spokesperson there for the Department of Education in the Free State. And share your thoughts on that story on X at Newzroom 405.